Why do the rich keep getting richer, even in recession? What if I told you that the rich don't just make money differently, they think about money in a completely different way? While most people work harder and pay more taxes, the wealthy often borrow money and somehow end up richer. Sounds unfair? Robert Kiyosaki, author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, says it's not unfair at all. It's simply a matter of learning the rules of the game. Today, we're breaking down his 6 basic rules of investing, the same principles that have helped countless entrepreneurs escape the paycheck-to-paycheck grind. You'll discover why using other people's money can actually make you richer, the one type of income the rich love most, why debt can be your greatest ally, and the biggest financial trap the education system never warns you about. By the end, you'll see exactly how shifting your mindset and your strategy can turn your finances around, and maybe even set you on the same path as the rich and famous. Let's get one thing straight. When Robert Kiyosaki says other people's money, he's not talking about borrowing from your friends or relatives. He means big players, banks, corporations, and financial institutions with deep pockets and resources you can tap into. Robert openly admits he's made a career out of using other people's money to build wealth. And it's not just him. This is a well-known strategy among successful business people. Why? Because if you can borrow at, say, 5% interest and earn a 10% return, you're not just making money, you're multiplying it without tying up all your own cash. Former U.S. President Donald Trump, who co-authored 2 wealth books with Robert, is a textbook example. Love him or hate him, Robert says you can't deny Trump is a smart capitalist. His real estate empire? Built largely with borrowed funds, then leveraged for bigger returns. And here's the kicker. Using borrowed money isn't just about growth. In many cases, it can lower your taxes too. Interest payments can be tax deductible, and certain structures can shield you from unnecessary tax bills. But here's Robert's big warning. This isn't beginner-level stuff. If you don't understand how cash flow works, how to calculate ROI, and how to manage risk, this strategy can backfire fast. So, before you jump in, build your financial skill set first. Now, you might be thinking, wait a second, doesn't Robert bash traditional education all the time? Yes, he does. But there's a difference between academic degrees and financial education. Robert says the first building block of that education is understanding the 3 types of income and why the rich favor one over the others. First, earned income. This is your paycheck. You trade time for money. Sounds simple, right? The problem is, it caps your potential. Even at $100,000 a year, over 30 years you'd earn $3 million before taxes, and that's if you never lose your job. One medical emergency, one layoff, and years of savings could disappear overnight. Second, portfolio income, from investments like stocks or real estate flips. This can be profitable, but it's not usually the main source of income for the wealthy. The market can be unpredictable, and without expertise, it's easy to lose your shirt. Third, and Robert's favorite, passive income. This is the cash flow that comes from assets you own but don't have to actively manage every day. Rental properties, royalties, businesses run by a team. The magic? You can use other people's money to build these streams, and they often come with tax benefits. Robert's frustration is that schools almost never teach this. Instead, they push the work hard, save, retire plan, a plan he believes sets most people up for financial struggle. From kindergarten to graduation, most of us are trained to think, study hard, get a good job, work for decades. But in today's world, that path is becoming more fragile than ever. AI and automation are replacing jobs faster than new ones are created. Robert says the difference between the poor, the middle class, and the wealthy often comes down to how they view debt. Most see debt as a burden, something to escape from. The wealthy? They see it as a lever. Here's the difference. A middle-class family might see a $100,000 loan as a crushing monthly payment. A wealthy investor might see that same $100,000 as the seed money for buying an apartment building that not only pays for itself, but also generates profit every single month. Debt isn't automatically bad. It's how you use it that matters. Short-term gains are exciting, But Robert insists real wealth is built over years, even decades. The focus? Assets that keep paying you long after the initial work is done. Rental properties, dividend-paying stocks, and cash flow-positive businesses are all examples. Robert believes 99% of Americans are in what he calls a bankrupt state, not because they have zero money now, but because if their paycheck stopped tomorrow, so would their income. To escape this, you need to stop asking, how can I earn more salary? And start asking, what assets can I build that will earn for me? That's the real shift from working for money to making money work for you. Robert says it plainly. Investments don't cause losses, investors do. The classic mistake? Chasing hype. People see a stock shooting up, they jump in without research, and when it dips, they panic sell. Then they claim the market is risky. The truth is, most people simply don't know how to read the numbers. They can't interpret a basic financial statement, one that shows income, expenses, assets, liabilities, and cash flow. And without that skill, every investment feels like a gamble. For Robert, financial literacy isn't optional. It's the foundation for every smart financial move you make. If you skip this step, you'll spend your life reacting instead of planning. Robert's last rule hits a nerve. Spending only your own money might feel safe, but it's actually the lazy approach. It requires no creativity, no deal-making, no resourcefulness. As a kid, Robert saw this mindset difference firsthand. His poor dad would shut down the moment something seemed too expensive. I can't afford it. End of story. His rich dad? He'd lean in. It's expensive, so how do we make it affordable? That one question sparks solutions. It forces you to think bigger. Poor dad, thinking accepts limits. Rich dad, thinking finds ways to break them. And over time, that difference compounds until one person is still trading time for money, and the other is financially free. And that's really the heart of it. Wealth isn't an accident. It's a set of deliberate choices made over and over again. Which brings us to this. Wealth isn't built by chance. It's built by choice. Robert Kiyosaki's 6 rules aren't just strategies for making money. They're a new way of thinking about life. Every decision you make with your money is either moving you toward financial freedom or keeping you stuck where you are. The best time to start changing that is now. So take one of these rules, put it into practice today, and watch how your financial story begins to change. Which of these 6 rules do you think could make the biggest difference in your life right now? Share your thoughts. You might inspire someone else to start their journey too. This is Smart Money Basics, helping you make smarter moves and build lasting wealth. If you found this breakdown useful, hit like, subscribe, and share it with someone who could use this insight. And don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss an episode. Thanks for watching. Stay focused, and I'll see you next time.